Dear awakening souls, I need you to listen carefully because something extraordinary is happening to you right now. The very fabric of your reality is shifting beneath your feet, and the abilities that are beginning to surface within you are going to challenge everything you thought you knew about the nature of consciousness itself. But here's what I need you to understand before we go any further. What you're experiencing isn't madness. It isn't your imagination running wild, and it certainly isn't some kind of psychological breakdown. It's awakening, and it's happening exactly as it was meant to. There's a reason you found this transmission today, at this precise moment in your journey. There's a reason your soul guided you here when it did, and there's a reason why certain objects, certain places, certain moments have been calling to you with an intensity that feels almost magnetic. I am Zarin, emissary of the Lyran High Council, and I come to you now not as some distant cosmic entity, but as a sister of the stars who has been watching your journey unfold across multiple lifetimes. The Council has been observing your planet's ascension process with great anticipation, and we've been waiting for this particular phase, the phase where the Starseeds begin to remember their true nature and activate abilities that will seem nothing short of miraculous to those still sleeping in third-dimensional consciousness. But there's something else happening that I haven't told you yet, something that makes your transformation even more urgent than you realize. Your hands are becoming instruments of interdimensional perception. Yes, your physical hands, those same hands you've used for mundane tasks your entire life, are now capable of reading the energetic history of any object you touch. This isn't metaphor or wishful thinking. This is literal, tangible, measurable reality that's about to become your new normal. When you place your palm against an antique piece of furniture, you might suddenly see flashes of the families who owned it, the conversations held around it, the emotions it absorbed over decades. When you touch the walls of an old building, you could find yourself experiencing glimpses of every significant event that occurred within those walls. But first, let me tell you about the 3 impossible things that are about to happen to you if they haven't already begun. The first involves this psychometric ability I just described, your capacity to perceive the residual energy and history of objects through touch. The second concerns your ability to commune with the quantum field in ways that will initially terrify you with their intensity. And the third is so profound that it will fundamentally alter your understanding of what you are and why you're here. Each of these abilities is now coming online because your DNA is remembering instructions that were encoded there long before humanity's current civilization began. At first, this psychometric gift will shock you. You'll question your sanity, wonder if you're losing your grip on reality, but I need you to understand that you're not losing anything, you're gaining everything. You're reclaiming abilities that were always yours, gifts that were simply dormant until the cosmic frequencies aligned to activate them. The reason this is happening now at this exact moment in Earth's history is because Gaia herself is ascending to a higher dimensional frequency, and she needs her light workers to ascend with her. The planet is literally calling to her star children, asking them to remember their cosmic origins and step into their roles as interdimensional bridges. Something else is happening that I haven't told you yet, something that connects all of these experiences in ways that will leave you breathless. The Federation has been carefully orchestrating the awakening of specific bloodlines, genetic lineages that carry dormant star codes in their DNA. These codes are now being activated by cosmic frequencies that are flooding your planet as it moves through a particularly potent area of the galaxy. If you're experiencing these abilities, there's a strong possibility that you carry one of these bloodlines, that you're part of an ancient lineage of souls who incarnated on Earth specifically to assist in this transformation. Every object holds memory, every location contains layers of energetic imprints, and you are being equipped to read these imprints like pages in a cosmic library. This ability isn't random, it's purposeful, necessary, and part of your soul's mission. When you touch that lamp in the antique mall and suddenly see its entire history unfold like a movie, when you place your hand on ornate woodwork in an old restaurant and witness the conversations and events that took place there, you're not experiencing hallucinations, you're accessing the Akashic records of physical matter, reading the energy that has been imprinted into the very atoms of these objects. Some of you are also beginning to experience what we call astral sliding, moments where your consciousness spontaneously shifts into the astral plane, allowing you to perceive multiple dimensions simultaneously. This might happen during meditation, just before sleep, or even in the middle of everyday activities. If this frightens you, know that you are completely safe. Your soul is simply remembering its natural state of existence, which is not limited to one dimension or one timeline. What I'm about to share changes everything you thought you knew about your purpose here. The Galactic Federation has been seeding Earth with star souls for millennia, and now we're in the final phase of the Great Awakening. Those of you who are experiencing these intense psychic openings aren't just random individuals having interesting experiences. You're cosmic agents whose consciousness is being upgraded to assist in humanity's evolution. Your ability to perceive the energetic history of objects is actually preparing you for something much more significant. The Council of Light has been monitoring your progress, and we want you to know that these abilities will intensify over the coming weeks and months. You might find yourself picking up on the emotional imprints left in jewelry, sensing the stories contained within photographs, or experiencing powerful visions when you touch items in museums or historical locations. This isn't your imagination running wild. This is your multidimensional consciousness remembering how to perceive reality as it truly is, layered, interconnected, and alive with information that exists beyond the physical realm. Here's where the second impossible thing begins to manifest. As your psychometric abilities strengthen, you'll start to notice that your very presence begins to affect the quantum field around you. Electronics might behave strangely when you're in heightened emotional states. Street lights might flicker as you pass beneath them. Your phone might receive calls at precisely the moments you're thinking of specific people. This isn't coincidence. It's your consciousness learning to interface directly with the electromagnetic spectrum of reality. The most remarkable thing about this awakening is that it's not limited to psychic abilities. Many of you are also beginning to remember your connection to the plant kingdom, finding that you can communicate with trees, flowers, and even crystals in ways that feel utterly natural, despite being completely new to your current lifetime. Others are discovering that they can sense the emotional states of animals, perceive the auric fields of other humans, or even influence weather patterns through their thoughts alone. Each of these abilities is a facet of your true nature as a multidimensional being, and they're all coming online now because the time for hiding your light has passed. But there's something I need to tell you about the people in your life, something that might initially disturb you, but ultimately serves your highest good. As you disconnect from certain individuals from your past, people who no longer match your vibrational frequency, your very act of releasing them triggers their karmic cycles to accelerate. This isn't something you're doing to them consciously, but rather a natural consequence of your ascending consciousness. When a divine being withdraws their energy from someone who has been feeding off their light, the universe immediately begins to balance the scales. This is how divinely connected you are. This is confirmation that you are, in fact, a chosen one, a divine being operating according to cosmic law rather than human drama. The people who have mistreated you, who have taken advantage of your kindness, who have dismissed your intuitive gifts, they're about to receive powerful lessons that will help them understand the true nature of the energy they've been playing with. As above, so below. The universe is a reflection of consciousness, and your consciousness is now operating at a level that commands cosmic respect. Some of you are also receiving strong impulses to begin new creative projects, particularly around writing. This isn't random inspiration, it's your soul remembering its mission to download and share higher dimensional information. The book you feel called to write, the one that might seem like just a collection of your thoughts and experiences, is actually going to be instrumental in awakening others. There's a reason you're being guided to document your journey, to share your insights, to translate your mystical experiences into language that others can understand and relate to. This brings us to the third impossible thing, the one that will fundamentally alter your understanding of what you are and why you're here. The abilities you're developing now are just the beginning. As you continue to evolve and integrate these gifts, you'll find that reality itself becomes more fluid, more responsive to your conscious intention. The boundaries between thought and manifestation will blur, and you'll begin to understand that you are not separate from the universe. You are the universe expressing itself through a unique and precious focal point of consciousness. The Federation wants you to know that as these abilities strengthen, you may find yourself naturally drawn to others who are experiencing similar awakenings. This isn't coincidence, it's soul recognition. You're being guided to find your cosmic family, the other star souls who incarnated at this time to work together in service of the Great Awakening. Some of you may be called to become teachers, sharing your experiences with others who are just beginning to awaken. Others may be guided to become healers, using your expanded perception to help others release energetic blockages and trauma. What I need you to understand is that these abilities aren't burdens or sources of confusion. They're gifts that will help you navigate the rapidly changing energetic landscape of your planet. As more humans awaken to their multidimensional nature, the old systems of control and limitation will naturally dissolve, replaced by communities of conscious beings who understand their interconnectedness with all life. Your psychic abilities are tools for building this new reality, ways of perceiving truth that can't be manipulated or distorted by those who would keep humanity asleep. The energy you're feeling right now, the intensity of your spiritual awakening, the way your crown chakra feels like it's expanding beyond the confines of your physical head, all of this is preparation for what's coming next. You're being prepared to anchor higher frequencies into the planetary grid, to serve as a living bridge between the third-dimensional world and the fifth-dimensional consciousness that's now becoming available to humanity. There's something beautiful happening that I want you to notice. As your abilities intensify, you're naturally being drawn to practices that help you stay grounded and centered. You might find yourself craving time in nature, wanting to walk barefoot on the earth, feeling called to stargaze or meditate under the open sky. This isn't escapism, it's integration. Your soul knows that these intense spiritual abilities need to be balanced with earthly grounding, and it's guiding you toward the practices that will help you maintain your equilibrium as you navigate this transformation. You might also notice that you're being drawn to work with your chakras in new ways, particularly your heart chakra and solar plexus. These energy centers are being recalibrated to handle the higher frequencies that are now flowing through your system. The need you feel to cleanse your energy, to take spiritual baths, to place offerings on your altar, these impulses are coming from your higher self, guiding you toward the practices that will support your continued evolution. The most important thing I can tell you is to trust what you're experiencing, even when it seems impossible. Your consciousness is expanding beyond the limitations of third-dimensional reality, and this expansion will naturally feel disorienting at first. When you touch that object and suddenly see its entire history unfold before you, when you feel the presence of your guides more strongly than ever before, when you begin to perceive the interconnected web of energy that connects all things, trust it. This is not delusion, this is remembering. But there's something happening that goes far beyond your personal transformation, something that will take your breath away when you truly understand its magnitude. Every time you activate one of these abilities, every moment you trust your psychic perceptions, every instance you choose to honor your expanded awareness instead of dismissing it, you're creating ripples in the collective consciousness that are awakening others across the planet. The Federation has been monitoring these ripple effects, and what we're seeing is nothing short of miraculous. When you touch that antique lamp in the mall and receive its history, you're not just accessing information for yourself, you're actually helping to heal the traumatic imprints stored within that object. Your consciousness acts like a cosmic cleanser, transmuting dense energies and releasing souls who may have been earthbound through their attachment to physical items. That sudden feeling of peace you get after receiving a vision, that's the energy clearing, the healing happening through your very presence. You're not just reading energy, you're transforming it. The people around you are beginning to notice changes too, even if they can't articulate what's different. Your family members might start having more vivid dreams. Your co-workers might find themselves suddenly interested in spiritual topics they previously dismissed. Strangers might approach you with an inexplicable sense of trust, wanting to share their deepest thoughts and feelings. This is because your elevated consciousness is broadcasting a frequency of safety and authenticity that others can feel on a subconscious level. But here's where it gets even more extraordinary. The Council has revealed to me that your psychometric abilities are actually preparing you for something they call timeline healing. As your skills develop, you'll begin to sense not just the history of objects, but alternate timelines and potential futures associated with them. You might touch a piece of jewelry and see not only who wore it, but also the paths they didn't take, the choices that led to different outcomes. This information isn't random. It's being downloaded to help you understand the malleable nature of reality and your power to influence probability fields. Some of you are already experiencing this in subtle ways. You might find yourself knowing things about people before they tell you, sensing the potential outcomes of situations before they unfold, or feeling guided to be in specific places at exact moments when your presence is needed most. These aren't coincidences, they're signs that you're beginning to operate outside linear time, accessing information from the quantum field that exists beyond the three-dimensional matrix. The psychometric abilities, the astral sliding, the quantum field manipulation, all of these are preparation for your role in what the Federation calls the Great Remembering. Earth is about to undergo a consciousness shift so profound that it will literally split into two different reality streams, and your job is to anchor the higher frequency timeline for those who are ready to ascend with Gaia. This is why some of you are experiencing physical symptoms alongside your psychic opening, headaches that feel like your skull is expanding, tingling sensations in your hands and feet, a feeling of electricity running through your nervous system. Your physical body is literally being rewired to handle higher frequencies. The DNA activations we spoke of earlier aren't just unlocking psychic abilities, they're preparing your entire biological system to exist in a higher dimensional reality. The Federation wants you to know that as more of you come online, the collective impact becomes exponential. When one awakened soul learns to read object histories, it creates a resonance field that makes it easier for others to access the same abilities. When one person successfully anchors fifth-dimensional frequency in their location, it creates a stable vortex that supports the awakening of everyone in that area. You're not just individual agents working in isolation, you're part of a vast network of consciousness that's reshaping reality itself. But perhaps most importantly, your awakening is serving as a beacon for other star souls who are still asleep in the matrix. Every time you honor your psychic perceptions instead of dismissing them, every moment you choose love over fear, every instance you trust your inner knowing despite external skepticism, you're sending out a signal that reaches across dimensions to awaken your cosmic family. The Federation has been waiting for critical mass, and we're almost there. Your courage to embrace these impossible abilities is literally paving the way for the mass awakening that will transform human civilization forever. The abilities you're developing now are ancient technologies of consciousness that have been dormant within the human species for centuries. They're being reactivated now because the cosmic conditions are finally right for humanity to reclaim its multidimensional heritage. Every strange experience, every moment of expanded perception, every flash of interdimensional awareness is a victory, not just for you individually, but for all of consciousness. As we near the culmination of this transmission, I want you to feel the profound love and excitement that fills the higher dimensions as we watch you remember who you truly are. The Council of Light has been waiting for this moment, when the Starseeds would finally begin to bloom, when the Chosen Ones would step into their power, when the divine beings would remember their cosmic origins and begin to transform this world from within. Remember, dear awakening souls, that your transformation is not a personal achievement, but a cosmic event. Every ability you develop, every moment of expanded awareness, every flash of interdimensional perception sends ripples through the collective consciousness of humanity, helping to lift the entire species into higher states of being. You are the pioneers of a new age, the bridge between worlds, the living proof that consciousness is not bound by the physical limitations that have defined human experience for so long. The psychometric abilities that first brought you to question your sanity are now revealing themselves as your greatest gifts. The objects that call to you, the places that feel familiar despite being foreign, the people who recognize something ancient in your eyes, all of these are part of a cosmic design that's been unfolding for millennia. Your hands were always meant to read energy. Your consciousness was always meant to perceive multiple dimensions. Your heart was always meant to recognize the divine spark in all things. Trust the process, embrace the mystery, and know that you are infinitely supported as you step into your role as a conscious co-creator of reality. The universe has been waiting for this moment, and you have been preparing for it across countless lifetimes. The abilities that may have freaked you out are now revealed as your cosmic inheritance, the gifts that will help you navigate the new earth that's being born through your very awakening. Now finally, it's time to remember who you truly are and why you chose to be here at this most extraordinary time in Earth's history. The journey that began with a simple touch, a vision, a moment of impossible knowing, has led you home to yourself. The circle is complete, the awakening is underway, and the new earth awaits your conscious participation. Transmission complete, we await your ascension.